looking a little bit bearish out there. I mean, we're seeing some heavy hits here. I see the 𝗖 is down 18%, my favorite trade.
A busy time shows how important they are.
Then we've got DOT down 6%, Kava down 6%, Astroport is at 12%. So these altcoins are definitely sweating. And yesterday we were looking at it and we saw a lot of these stocks on the 4-hour, 8-hour, 12-hour, they were all reset, but these 1 hours were completely overbought. And we needed some kind of reset there on those 1 hours to get things going. And they came and they flushed it out. They reset those 1 hours, but now these alts aren't moving right. So today, this is what we're going to look at. We're looking at BTC. What's the next trade? What happens now when this damn ETF news comes out? Is it coming out? Isn't it? Who actually knows what's going on now? So we need to figure out what's the trade after that. I might have something for you guys. Then I'm looking at 𝗟𝗔𝗓𝗏. I see Run's talking about 𝗖𝗢𝗓𝗔𝗟. That's my big trade that you guys know about. So we're going to cover that one again. I've got Lido for you. Celestia we're dealing with. I've got 𝗖𝗢𝗓𝗏 updates. I've got BONK. Believe it or not, I'm bringing BONK back. And I might have a Chinese New Year trade for you guys. So much content again today, guys. Lots to talk about. Let's get right into it. I think Run just now was having a go on his show talking about this BTC ETF, and I think he was playing a bit of a drinking game there. But I mean, we're all so sick of hearing these stories, and you know, now the guys are saying maybe, you know, traders are turning a little bit bearish now. People are expecting a dump. There's so much going on out there with all the speculation as well. We've got some guys saying it's getting approved today. We've got other guys saying it's getting approved tomorrow. I'm so sick of it, and I think the market is sick of it as well. And these alts are sweating, and we've seen dominance start pushing higher as well. Well, BTC has been okay. BTC has been relatively stable, and dominance has been pushing higher, and that has been affecting our altcoins a little bit and just ruining some of the fun. I mean, we're here for fun. We're here for altcoin fun. And they're not giving it to us right now. So here's a nice tweet from 𝗟𝗘𝗏𝗏. He's saying, if you care whether the BTC ETF is priced in or not, your time horizon is too short. So don't forget the longer game here, the longer play here. There's way more to this little ETF story, you know, than what you guys believe. And we're just looking at this as our only trade. Well, we're not looking deep enough. So there's a much bigger picture here. And I would say in a year or two, when we look back, we're not going to really care if the market did sell off 20% or 30% on the ETF news. We need to always just be aware of the bigger picture and why we're here and why we all got into this in the first place. So yeah, just interesting words. Go follow him there on Twitter. He is a great guy to follow. Right, let's move on to the current BTC situation. And I don't want to shock anyone here, but believe it or not, we had another 618 bounce here for BTC. I mean, it's like clockwork, isn't it? This BTC just loves the 618. So we started getting a pullback. We started feeling a little bit of pressure there on BTC. And what happened? They came in, they pinged the 618 for us and sent it straight up. So 43,000, that was our support marker again for the day. This was a support we were looking at yesterday. They've now tested it again here, 43,000. That is my support for the day. And then lower down, we need to now pay attention to this wick. We do have some horizontals, so I'm going to call it 43,000, 42,200, and then we're looking at the big horizontal, 41,700. So these are the big downside levels that I would watch for BTC at the moment. This is assuming we don't get any ETF news, whether or not we get it or not. As long as we don't get any ETF news, I think BTC should trade around these levels until something happens next week. So that is what I'm looking for. And then the bulls, if we want to have fun this weekend, we really need to blow this horizontal now. This 44,000, let's call it 44,100. We really need to break this horizontal. We want to just shoot up here, hit this 44,800, little rejection, and then we want to send it up for some weekend fun. So that's the bull plan right now. So bulls, right now you are at resistance. 44K is your resistance zone. We need to really smash that, and then we can start really having some fun. And then you're going to see it's quite interesting. These alts will start tying in nicely because these alts are currently sitting on a lot of support areas right now that we're looking at. And if BTC does want to push higher, then we should get a good result. And then another thing to consider now when we start going through some of these altcoins, if BTC starts dumping again and starts dropping lower, we need to track dominance. We want to see this dominance start coming down, and that will tell us that these alts aren't getting as wrecked as they could possibly be. So if BTC starts falling over, we want that dominance to start gradually falling down with us, just to help the altcoins a little bit. This is dominance now on the weekly, and it's not a good look overall. So you can see what happened here. We lost our rising weekly trend here on dominance, and it fell over, and things were looking good. You know, we were pumping these altcoins, everyone was happy, and we got our little 200-day MA bounce on this dominance. And we wanted this rejection here at the 50-day MA and trend. That's what we were looking for. And, you know, right now they've sent us back through the 50-day MA. So this is notable that BTC is going to be sort of the flavor of the next couple of days if it starts holding this 50-day MA and trend again. So eyes on this guy. If we start losing the 50-day MA, then the alts party does start getting a little bit more fun for us. Right, let's see what else we got here. Coinbase, little update. I see 𝗬𝗓𝗓𝗏 Wood isn't finished, or I think she finished now today or yesterday selling her Coinbase stock. And again, 382 bound, so no changes here for the Coinbase traders. 382 horizontal, nice little area here, 144.6. That's a nice little level for you. And yeah, nice little trade potentially for coin. So these are your nice areas, 144, and then your next level for Coinbase, 114. So these are some key areas I've been watching for myself. And then yesterday we started talking Dixie again. And the Dixie became topical because it's been pumping, as you guys know, and it's actually turned the S&P over. The S&P started falling over, and what we were saying yesterday, Dixie looking bullish, which means you're pretty much bullish on getting wrecked in the S&P if the Dixie is pumping like that. So nice to see the Dixie getting a little bit of a rejection here now at this 200-day MA and 50-day region, and sending it back down. So that should hopefully give the S&P a little bit of breathing room and maybe a little bit of less pressure there. So let's just take a look at this S&P and just make sure that all is okay. And you can see right now, so a little bit of a green daily candle here on the S&P so far, and that is just purely responding to this this Dixie rejection here that you can see happening. So a little bit of green here in the S&P. I am still looking downside. I'm still looking at 4600. This is my first region, and my next region 4532. Okay, so these are my two main areas, and I think we're going to get a trade, a long trade here on the S&P as soon as this RSI starts settling down here for us. I think we're going to be teeing up a long trade, and I'm eyeing out this region here as the potential support where we are going to be looking for the buys. If not, we are looking a little bit lower, but I think I'm going to dust off that Prime XBT account in the next couple of days, and we're going to start prepping for a long on the S&P. So we're going to pick it up on one of those levels. So yeah, if you guys like the S&P trades and things like that, let me know. I can obviously do more of it. I spend so much time the last couple of weeks trading these altcoins because it's been actually, well, it's been the most fun really. So we can definitely get back into these type of things. And then bigger picture, I see my tile for today's show is, you know, what's happening next? What's the next trade? So for those of you that haven't seen me show you this chart, this is my BTC weekly chart. Nothing has really changed here for me. And I still have the same opinion that, you know, we want to send BTC higher. We still want to pump into this news, or we want to pump on the news. Some kind of, you know, a short-term pump when we get the news, but then I'm still expecting some kind of reaction, some kind of rejection, and a big sell-off. And my first area of interest for me is this 37.5 down to 37,000. That is my first sort of level where I think we're going to be picking up some BTC. And look, we need to be prepped for all scenarios. So if there is an even bigger sell-off, we do have the most obvious here. This is the 618 pull. And it's tied in with a 200-day MA and some horizontals at 33K. I mean, did I just say 33K? I mean, I don't want to offend anybody, especially, you know, all the BTC guys that think we're going completely north, but we got to keep this in mind. Yeah, 33K is an area. And once again, 31K. So there's some big levels we need to watch. If we do get some kind of mega sell-off, that is where you want to be with your limit orders, and you want to be watching those charts. If we do get an opportunity, these are potential DCA or buy areas that I'm interested in. Right. First things first, I've got maybe the next trade after this ETF trade, what could the next narrative be? I mean, what are we here for? You know, what is the next trade? And there's rumors floating around that maybe the next trade is going to be ETH. That the thing that everybody hates right now. I mean, I think Run's show right now, he was talking about an ETH killer again. He prefers Solana over ETH. He prefers Say over ETH. I mean, basically, it just sounds like he absolutely hates ETH. And look, maybe we are going to get an ETH narrative trade building in the near future. And there's a lot happening here. We see they're talking about, you know, the Celsius unstaking thousands of ETH, and they're suggesting now it's possibly going to ease the selling pressure on Ethereum. So maybe that's going to also unlock some bullish things here for ETH. So let's just take a look at the ETH chart for fun, and just see if we did believe that there was going to be an ETH trade or an ETH narrative. How would we go about it? And you know, what are the areas we want to buy at? So, you know, for me, I've still got my main areas for ETH, and this has been tested now a couple of times. But this 382 and horizontal here, 2000, call it 2100 on the button, is your major support area for ETH. But it is interesting to note that we had these altcoins pulling back in the last 24 hours. And look how nicely ETH, this is ETH on the 3-day, by the way, look how nicely ETH has held this 50-day MA versus some of these other alts that have been completely smashed and started bleeding out. So key areas I would watch now for ETH, 2200. 2100. Okay, so this is a nice little scenario that could play out. And then if we get a bigger market sell-offs, let's assume this ETF news comes, we get a little pump from these altcoins, and then we get a dump, which is what a lot of us are expecting. Actually, we do need to identify some key areas where we can pick up some of these tokens, and the most obvious for me is the 618 200-day MA for ETH. So this level here is 1,880. So this is a hot zone for me on ETH. If we do get some kind of flush out, that is an area of interest where you potentially want to have some limit buys there, or DCA buys and things like that, or start firing up your trades. 1880 looks like a hot zone for me for Ethereum. Obviously, I mean, if we get a mega capitulation here, then all bets are off. But as far as solid zones are concerned, 2-1 and 1880, those are my hot zones. And let me know in the chats here, guys, is ETH dead? Let me know. Let me know. And I was also running a poll before you guys jumped in here. Let's take a look at this poll here. I said, is the BTC ETF trade over? And 57% of you so far. Can we get some more votes, though? We've only got 500 votes so far. But 57% of you are saying, yes, there's a massive dump coming. And 43% are saying no, we're going up. We're going up from here. So come vote in this poll here. I want to see what you guys are feeling. And okay, so let me know, guys, your thoughts on this ETH potential ETH long here, or ETH setup. Let me know what you guys are thinking. Right, let's move on to the next one. If we are saying that we have an ETH narrative and we need to be looking at ETH, well, obviously we need to look at Lido. So this is the next one. I would say they hunt in pairs. You want to look at Lido. This is Lido picture for you on the weekly. And look, this has quietly gone by unnoticed by me because we've been very bored with ETH. So I haven't really been looking at things like Lido. And here it is, banging weekly horizontal resistance. This is a massive area here for Lido. So what is this telling me? This is telling me if we do get some kind of energy in ETH and they start pushing this Ethereum, something like Lido is going to absolutely fly. And right now they are teeing it up into a weekly resistance zone at 3.2. So the bulls, obviously, this is now the weekly chart, but the bulls, the ideal situation for the bulls is obviously to catch this break and then catch this this support buy after we have broken through this weekly area. So I'm watching this 3.2 level very closely. In my next area for Lido, if we do get a pullback, if we're lucky enough to get a pullback on ETH and Lido, for example, these are the areas you're going to be looking at. 2.96, that is a hot zone for me. This is the weekly, remember, so this is a big area. 2.96, and then we've got massive weekly levels here, 2.6 on the button. So these are really hot zones for Lido if you guys want a piece of Lido. And I think if ETH starts moving and that's the play, Lido is a place you want to be in. Let me see in the chats here. Well, let me see these answers here on ETH. see. Come on, guys. Let me know your thoughts here on ETH. Okay, we got lots of questions on ICP, guys. I'm also going to update you on some of these trades we were looking at yesterday. Ezra says ETH is a sleeping giant. Cunning George says buy the red, sell the green. Now that's the spirit. I mean, that is the spirit, guys. This is what we like. Let's see what else we got. Eric says anything sub 40 on BTC is going to get bought up very quickly. Look, I think if there is a sell-off, it's going to be a quick sell-off. And, that's why, again, let's just we reassess these levels here. But if there is a sell-off, you got to watch these hot zones. That's where the buyers are going to be. And if they recover quickly, they are going to ping some of these hot areas. So make sure you got them on your charts and you have teed up some potential limit orders there in case we do get that little flush out. Okay, let's see who else is in the chats here. Okay, how are we going on our votes? We got 57% saying that we are going to get some kind of sell-off. Okay, so you guys are a little bit bearish. Okay, next one I've got for you is Celestia. So, we gave that trade Celestia yesterday. It had a nice little 20% pump. That was looking good. So for anyone who's interested, there is a bit of a narrative play here. And Joe, the Irishman, is saying that, some of the 𝗖𝗢𝗓𝗔𝗟𝗟 traders have now moved into Celestia as a switch over. So Celestia is looking hotter than 𝗖𝗢 right now, and you can see what's going on here. This was this little long yesterday that we were looking at. We got it just, it was breaking this horizontal and trend, and we sent it from, I think our support here was 14.4, and now consolidating into a little flag again, looking potentially a little bit bullish. So we've got a 382 support area here, now at 15.26. So that has been tested a couple of times now. So 15.26 for the Celestia traders, and support area again, next level of support 14.4. That is another hot zone, and your next level 13, or call it 14 on the button. So these are support areas for Celestia. If it is going to turn mega bullish, they might want to come and just flush a little bit more. So watch out. 15.3, 14.4, and 14. These are potential areas for you, but I do like the look of this big horizontal zone. And now we have broken up, and if they're going to play games, let them play games around here in this area. Let's see what we get, some kind of flag maybe, and then a nice little move for us on Celestia. So that is potentially a good one. And if you look at the charts, if you compare the 𝗖𝗢 and the Celestia charts, you can see now there's a lot more Celestia strength versus 𝗖𝗢 at the moment. Okay, and then now here's Run. He's talking about this 𝗖𝗢. He was talking about it on his show now, and he's loving this 𝗖𝗢 token again. And you guys know I've been loving 𝗖𝗢 for what, 3-4 weeks now. It's been a great trade so far. And what I wanted to give you guys, or just show you what was happening here, was potential areas now where we could pick up 𝗖𝗢 on these pullbacks. So right now, I don't want to turn bearish on anything until we lose these rising trends. And you can see this is a rising trend from middle of December on 𝗖𝗢. It's just been in an upward movement like a steam train basically, and it just keeps grinding out. So we can't get bearish on 𝗖𝗢 until we lose this rising trend here. But what I do want to show you guys right now, we've got a 618 bounce and horizontal on 𝗖𝗢, so 0.68. That is an area of interest, but we do need to pay attention to this trend down over here. It could make sense that they want to come and visit this trend. And how could they potentially go about it? Well, here's an idea. A little bit of a head and shoulders play potentially here on 𝗖𝗢. So let's see what happens here. If we do get a push up here, I'd be interested to see what type of rejection we get on this potential right shoulder here at about 0.8. Let's see if they do give that to us, and then that's going to change the way we play this and we handle this. So then our next test is going to be when we hit the 786 here and this rising trend at about 0.63. So again, I'm looking out for something along these lines. Let's see who else is here. I see Bruce has jumped in the back. 𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗏𝗥 is here. Agent Dave is here. The whole sniper crew is here. What's happening, guys? What's happening?
What's that?
Do you have any trades for us here? I'm selling trades for likes, guys. Are you prepping something for us?
I've got one.
Bruce is nodding. Okay, I'm gonna sell this for life. So, guys, Dave, I'm gonna take you guys off quickly. Dave's BLZ trade from yesterday is still active. Okay. Bruce is bringing something. Bruce, you bringing us something?
If people want.
If you want, okay, we were going to sell it for
Yeah,
likes. We're selling it for likes.
If they're gonna smash those likes, we got some trades. That's for sure.
Ray's in the house, guys. Everyone's in the house. Okay. Okay, we'll start with a likeage. Okay, so you can see we got 2 hot traders in the back here with potential setups here for you. Okay, now the next one I want to give you. Is it time for Chinese New Year? Is it time for a Chinese New Year play? The Year of the Dragon. Okay, so what do? Chinese New Year, we identify some Chinese coins. Okay, I'm not going to tell you the obvious one that I've bought. Well, I will tell you that one. That could be a bit of a laugh. But here's CFX. Okay, so here's a Chinese token for you guys. And something interesting here. I went back and I looked. What happened at Chinese New Year? When was this? January 22. Okay, we got a pump on CFX. About 64%. Okay, from the low on the 24th of January, it was a 90% pump. Okay, then we got January 23. Okay, so the beginning of last year, 210% on CFX. Okay, just Chinese New Year things. And here we are with CFX right now, sitting on weekly support. Okay, we are 2 weeks away from Chinese New Year, so a lot can happen between now and then. Including a sell-off. But I do want to bring it to your attention right now that CFX 0.17 is currently weekly support, supported by the 200-day MA just underneath that at 0.165. So what I'm going to say here, 0.165 weekly and 200-day MA support if we get a flush out. I would say based on the previous 2 years of January of Chinese New Year with CFX pumping, if we get a sell-off here, 0.1447 is where you need to have your order sitting to grab some CFX to take advantage of this move potentially from the 24th of January. So I know DJ Dave's a big CFX fan. I mean, he trades this one a bit. What do you think about that, Clay?
Man, I'm in it. I love it. I've been in it. I love it. I'm at it. I'm going to add more if it comes down. And,
okay.
Right it to the top.
So guys, there you go. Chinese New Year play. Look, we're speculating, obviously, but we've seen it 2 years in a row now. There was a pump on CFX. The first year was 90%. Next year was 200%. Geez, I'll take 50% if they give it to me off a good support area, 10x leverage. Maybe have some fun there. Okay, so we'll see how that plays out. Then I've got the look, this is a low cap, guys, and I've spoken about this one before. And you guys know I bought a bag of this FUFU. Now, FUFU is a dragon, and you can buy this on MEXC. Chinese New Year play. It's a Chinese dragon. Remember, it's the year of the dragon. Maybe there's something there. You can see it's had a nice little retrace. They launched it on MEXC, had a little pump. Now it's pulled back and it's moving into an interesting level now. And yeah, I'm going to be adding a little bit more FUFU just in case there is something happening there. It could be a strong play for the next couple of weeks, guys. So there it is. You heard it here. Here's your level, FUFU. If anyone wants to speculate on a Chinese meme token, your level, 0004. That is your support area. Okay. If you start losing that, well, then we are looking at, well, I mean, look, this is the MEXC chart. It has been lower, obviously, but 0.0004 is your FUFU level that you want to start looking at there. Ray, what are you talking about in the chats here, bro? Okay, Williker says, what is FUFU? So FUFU is an absolute shitcoin. It's a Chinese dragon. It's a meme coin. It's got zero utility. It's literally a meme coin. And it's launched on MEXC. And it could be a play. It could be a fun play for the Chinese New Year. It's a high-risk play, obviously, guys. This is a meme coin with zero utility. And I think that they openly mention it's got zero utility. It's a meme coin. So just be aware what you are buying if you are buying it. Okay, let's see what else we got. Okay, Dynaway says Chinese New Year, 10th of Feb. So guys, there you go. There's your trade. There's your potential CFX and FUFU plays that you can start looking at. And again, look out for those flush outs. If we do have a sell-off, there could be a massive opportunity here on CFX. So don't forget that 0.145. Watch that zone. keep that in your on your watch list. Maybe set an alarm on TradingView, and take advantage of that if it does give you that. Okay, what else do we have? Arbitrum update. Okay, so ARB's been very strong, and we were looking at this yesterday, but you can see they've been playing games, lots of games here. Look at this, a little pump here, and then they sent us back lower. So Arbitrum hasn't been going that nicely, but again, looking a lot like Say at the moment. So we're sitting on 382 and horizontal support currently. So Arbitrum right now on support 1.85. Okay, this is a support zone. We do have a 1 hour reset there on the stock. We do have a 4 hour that's busy resetting. The 8 hour still coming down. 12 hour still coming down. So for me, Arbitrum, we now need to be a little bit more patient. They might want to just send this one a little bit lower, but if you are interested in Arbitrum, this is your first line of support, 1.85, and then your next main zone, the next big area, 1.7. Okay, you can see why I like this zone. Nice little hot zone here, horizontals. We've got a 618 as well, and we do have some trend support here, so maybe even a little wick into that area could be a nice little play here for us if Arbitrum does lose 1.85. Okay, I'm looking in the chats. Let's see. Fahad is here. Agnieszka's here. Look at LCX. Agnieszka, what is LCX? She's shouting at us to look at LCX. Risto's asking for Matic. Don says, fire it up, Ray. Fahad, what's happening, bro? Fahad's looking at ARPA. Yeah, Velikas says FUFU's doing nothing. Yeah, FUFU is literally doing nothing right now, but it might be a play for Chinese New Year, so that's why I've grabbed some. Okay, let's see what Max has to say here. Max has got Render, AVAX, Filecoin have all broke uptrends from the start of December rally, meaning term traders look for an exit. Let's see what else we got. Check on Doge. Yeah, we need to actually look at Doge. There was a potential Doge short setup. Let's go to the next one. So another update for you guys. This was GMX. I was talking about this one yesterday. GMX on the 12 hour. So what I do like is we are now trying to fill half of this wick here, and it's pushing into a 618 and 50-day MA. So this is an interesting zone coming up for GMX. So it might be worth having a little sniff around this area. So yesterday, ideally, we were watching this horizontal, and you can see they came, they tested it, we bounced on it, they were dancing around a little bit, but now we've lost it with this dominant strength. And now we start needing to identify some strong zones where we could get some kind of bounce. And the first area of interest here, 50-day MA and 618. So that is 50.4 for GMX. And then your next strong zone is 42.6. So these are the two main areas of interest for me. If we hit those, these are potential areas where you could look for longs. So 50.3 and 42.5. Dave, you're sitting there very quietly.
Oh, this looks nice, man.
What do you have for us here?
I took an Atom trade here. It seemed like it's holding. I've actually been looking to build a swing long on Atom per bit.
Do you want to put up a chart here for us?
Sure.
Okay, here comes DJ Dave from the Sniper Club. Dragged him out of the Sniper Club. Here comes an Atom setup that he's given us in there. Okay,
right,
here we go.
Can you guys see that?
Yeah, looks good. Looks good.
Yeah, so I think one thing to point out is the Atom BTC chart. We've got this support down here, wicked into it, came back up. It's bleeding a little bit right now, but earlier it was holding some strength. I took a starter position on it though. I'm looking for it to at least come up to this weekly level at 0.0003. But on the USDT chart, we've got this trend line here that I've been eyeing, and the 618 sniper zone seems to be holding as a very good support. I've been watching also Neutron and Atom. They've been working kind of correlated here, and currently on this break a trend, we're at the 786. So yeah, my goal here is a swing long position. So I started a position here, and if we come down a little bit lower down to this trend line, I am looking to add a little bit more. But yeah, with Bitcoin and what it's doing. We'll see how far the U.S. session sends it down, but I don't see us. My goal, or I would hope to see this level hold here with Bitcoin, and if that holds, I think Adam is going to fly.
Nice little order block there as well. So a little wick fill there and a nice little bounce potentially. So cool. What are your limits there? Where do you exit this thing if it starts dropping too far? What's your exit here?
Yeah, no, my goal here is, if you guys are trading, 1% risk, 2% risk, whatever the case may be, I would spread your 1 or 2% risk throughout these levels here. So, I took a starter position, and if it comes down here, add another, part of your risk there, comes down here, down to this wick. If we get lucky, add a little bit more there. But if we start to lose this trend line and start to lose this 200-day moving average, that means Bitcoin is taking a massive correction, and that's where I would cut my position here. So it's something that you would want to pay attention to, have some alerts, but ultimately, if we lose the trend, get out.
Yeah, and guys, a time like this when everyone's speculating on news coming in and things like that, you don't want to be in too many positions right now, especially leverage positions. You really want to be picky with what you are getting involved in now, because if things don't go your way, you could have a situation where if you're in 10 positions, you can have a situation where you get completely rinsed. And we saw that the other day with that massive flush out that they gave us. So, times like these, when news is sensitive, we still are unsure. Are they going to pump us up? Are they going to pump us down? It could affect people both ways. We could go the wrong way first. So just bear in mind, now's not the time to be in tons of leverage positions, especially with a big announcement supposedly around the corner. I mean, it could be today, it could be next week. But just remember that when you are setting up your trades and things like that, you don't want to be over trading. You don't want to be in too many positions here. Okay, I'm going to pull up, Bruce is here. Let's not forget. Let's just get 𝗕𝗓𝗥𝗧 here. 𝗕𝗓𝗥𝗧. Are we ready to unleash the beast?
To unleash the beast, we need 80 more likes.
Okay, 80 more likes, and we're bringing in the gun. We're bringing in the big gun here from the back.
Honestly, it should be 400.
We always tell Bruce for likes.
Yeah, come on now.
Okay, 80 more likes. Bruce is getting ready. I can see he's getting fired up here in the back. Okay, he's got a trade coming for us. That's good news. Okay, let's go to the other ones that I want to update you guys on. So this was a question we saw in the chats now. Somebody was saying, please update on CRO. This is CRO on the daily. This is the OKX chart, and I don't have much information for you other than we had a 618 bounce here. Nice little reaction at 77. He was pleading in the chats. I didn't get your name there, bro. Sorry, but you were pleading in the chat saying, please, can it be bullish? Well, let's have a look. Let's see what we can put together here for you. What we want to do is identify areas of resistance and support and clear levels here. So, I mean, what I can tell you is we've lost a support level. We've lost a 50-day MA. So not looking super bullish right now. This is a resistance zone for you. So you do need to reclaim this area, this 0.096. This is now a big area for CRO. So the bulls want to see this area reclaimed. They want to see support in that region now. So let's see where this candle closes. This is the daily candle. Let's see how this closes, and let's see where this ends up. If it closes underneath this level, I would expect that we might get a little bit more downside here, and then this can be your bull line. This is what you want to watch. When we start breaking this guy, we get some support, we start breaking that trend, then it's game on. You can see we've got a horizontal zone here, could look to break that, and then things are firing again. So right now, I'd be a little bit cautious here. We have lost 50-day and we have lost some horizontals. So just be careful there with your trades. Mickey says we're going to hit that 47.5k. We have always done it. That's the ritual, but be careful, he says. So he's looking quite bullish. Look, it would be nice if we could come and flush out some of these shorts. Let's look at this latest daily liquidation heat map. Let's see how we're looking here. Let's see what we got. Okay, so you look, the shorts seem to be outweighing the longs at the moment. This is all the exchanges together. This is the daily liquidation heat map, and right now the shorts are starting to build up. So that is quite an interesting look. And if you just liquidate all of these guys, I mean, this is all these exchanges combined, you can get up to about 46 here if they come and take out this cluster ahead of us, and then lower down to about 41.5. So you can see where we are here. So could be interesting, but look, shorts are outweighing the longs at the moment. Maybe it's a sign that they're going to send us a bit higher. Okay, Ray, how are we looking here? Is it time to unleash the beast?
We need 15 more.
15 more, okay. Ray's like the bouncer. He's like the Bruce bouncer, basically. Okay, here's a Sol update. We were looking at Sol yesterday. Nice little move, gave us a little bounce, but you know, they've let us down. But look where we are. We are still holding this 382 support region and the previous horizontal. So 98 down to 96.5 for me is we just hanging on here. Is support here for Solana. So any decent BTC moves off here, and we should see things like Sol and all these other guys sitting on support. We should see them start moving up, but we do need to prep for lower in case they want to send us down, because we do have this wick that they might want to deal with a little bit more. And I think it could make sense now if we lose this area. For me, the next bet 89 for Solana. That is another hot zone here. That's midway down this wick. And then we do have the big area at 80. So this is the 618 down here, tied in with horizontal and the 50-day MA. So big bounce area here for 80 if things fall over. So right now, current area, I still like this current area, 96 to 98. Then we've got 89. That looks like a possible nice zone here, 618 play. And then we've got lower down 80 as a big hitter there for Solana. But I think 80 should get bought up relatively quickly there. That is the 50-day MA waiting nicely there for us as well.
Easily scooped up.
We're good for
David's
Bruce.
bullish. David's bullish. Are we good to go? Can I unleash the legend?
The legend.
Holy
I like
cow.
selling you for likes. I don't know. It's fun.
I feel like I'm on an auction block like a cow at a country fair.
We just trade Bruce. That's what we do. We just trade him.
Oh, okay. Well, we should have a token named Bruce and
Yeah, I
talk
think
about a real shit coin.
it's quite easy to knock a shit coin up, I'm sure.
Oh, God.
Okay, so Bruce, what's going on here?
What's going on is, watch this, guys. Hold on. I've just been staring at the charts and going like, this is so funny. This is just so funny. Hold on. Wait, there we go. Good share. I mean, look at this. Ready? Oh, it disappeared. So if you want to talk about correlation, when just a few minutes ago, I was looking at Bitcoin, and Bitcoin had printed that little green candle. Ethereum, little green candle. Injective, little green candle. Luzel, little green candle. Render, little green candle. Yeah, I mean, everything right now, for the most part, is so correlated to Bitcoin that I was sitting here while you were talking, wondering why we just don't trade anything but Bitcoin, little higher position size and more leverage. And anyway, it was a weird thought.
What is this in front of you here? This looks
Okay,
like it's about.
this is what I'm looking at. I'm looking at two trades. One, I'm in Injective, I'm in Luzel. Like them both. I think Dave talked about both of them. But I love the fact that Render is right up against a 50-day moving average, right at solid support. It's right into the green area, right of the cloud over there on Luxelgo. It's also got right in an order, ready coming into an order block. So Render to me is looking like it's got a lot of confluence to pump from this level, assuming Bitcoin decides to find a little bit of strength. So I'm looking to trade pretty much right about here for Bitcoin. Where if it loses this level, it's going to come down to the 3.63 level, most likely where it's got another strong support, and where this wick took us the other day. So that's kind of the big one I'm teeing up right now.
It's looking quite juicy.
It's very juicy. It's really juicy. And the only thing, again, I'm looking at is Bitcoin going to try and push up again? And if Bitcoin's going to push up again, is it going to frustrate us because it gets to that bullish trend line, right? And reject again. And if it does that, then it's just going to be frustration. But if it does push up through there into this area and regain 44 again, then we're definitely off to the races. So
it's the fun line. It's literally called the fun line because it's less fun when it's going down. It's way more fun when it's pumping. So that's the fun line. Okay,
exactly.
A lot of these look good. A lot of these are good on solid areas. So
I mean, look at this one.
You know,
this one came out of Sniper Club. Llama from Sniper Club was asking about this chart, and I looked at it and went, holy cow. Now, we were thinking picking up at the 382, but that doesn't invalidate the fact that this is a riskier one, a little more volatile, but boy, oh boy, I would love for it to tag this area, Fib 618, up to 618, support, clearly defined support level, and pump from there, because if this thing takes off, and again, Bitcoin will be the ruler here, I think, but you know, we're talking about a nice 25-30% jump. So that's the other one I'm looking at.
Yeah, a lot of them are starting to look attractive. You know, we've had a nice little sell-off. People are feeling bearish. You know, you just be aware of those feelings. You know, we're feeling bearish. You know, these are sometimes where we get our best entry.
And that's why these entrances are so cool, is the fact that everyone else they just see red candle, red candle, red candle, and that scares you and makes you hesitant. And that's oftentimes when you get your best entrances.
Exactly.
Okay, nice one, Bruce. So that's two solid setups there. Thank you. I'm going to do an update for you guys. That it's quite topical here as well. TRB's been pumping, as you know, and MYRO the dog, another meme coin's been pumping. So we'll talk about this. So yeah, recap on TRB. Lots of gains. Somebody bought the top at 600 and whatever. They paid for this thing, then they dumped it, sent it all the way back down, and now TRB is pumping again today. This is the weekly chart. This is the weekly we're looking at. Where's my... Don't tell me I pulled out the wrong one here. No, that was the right one. That was the right one. I've got 5,000 charts here that I run. Okay, so what we wanted to say, if you are trading TRB, you need to try and understand where your levels of support are now and how you're going to deal with this thing. I actually tried to open a TRB long early there where it started moving, and the exchange I was using wouldn't let me open it for whatever strange reason. They wouldn't let me have a go. So anyway, well, here we are. So now it looks a little bit too far gone for me. But what I would say, you know, you got to break this down into scalper vibes. If you are looking for a TRB play, you want to try and just identify your fibs, and you identify your solid horizontal areas, and you want to see where they tie in. If we do get a pullback, where you can get potential scalper buys in and things like that to jump on the train. So this is how I would go about TRB. I'd look for solid areas. This is the 4 hour. So not tying in that well at the moment. So I've got a 4 hour and a 382 round about 145. So that is an area of interest for TRB. And then I've got the 618, which is a little bit too low for me. It's 133. I was quite liking the look of this 138. So that must be a 0.5 for us. Let's see if we can pull this 0.5 in here. So yeah, that's about a 0.5. So that's a half retracement here. So that is an area of interest. So TRB levels 139 to 138, 145, and then you've got your backup 618 there. But yeah, if this move's going to stay bullish, I would like to see that 382 hold for that potential scalp long play there, and then maybe some bigger things.
Yeah, looks good.
Mudaffa says he loves Dill's beard. Thanks, man. You know, looked after this thing. Okay, let's look at MYRO the dog, and then I'm going to talk to you about BONK, because I've been very quiet about BONK in the last while, and you know, BONK might be moving into an area for us where we need to start paying attention. So MYRO the dog, for some reason today, guys, let us know in the chats why this thing is pumping, because I used to have some of the shit coin. I sold it, and now it's ripping. Can never time these things, guys. So let us know what the story is here on MYRO the dog. All I can give you for the traders out there, or the scalpers, is some kind of horizontal support that you can play with. So it's 0.058. That is your solid area, and you can see, I mean, without me having to tell you, I'm glad they actually did that. Look at the size of this. Look at this volatility here on these meme coins. They really come and flush you. So luckily, or hopefully, you can't trade leverage on this guy. But you need to understand, if you are trying to trade a meme coin, you need to have a lot of breathing room. So best strategy here for me on meme coins is small position, big move. You know, look for the big move, small position, lower risk. And once these things get traction, they start moving, then you can really take advantage. But just be aware, they come and flush you all day long. I mean, look at the size of this move here. A little 15% candle there on the 1 hour, little flush out, and then a bounce. So just play that one safely. But your main support that I can give you, 0.058. Okay, now, is it bonk time? Guys, let me know. Is it bonk time here in the chats? Or are we out bonked? Look at the sell-off after all the hype. So for those of you that didn't trade bonk or don't even know what this is or what I'm talking about, it's a meme coin on Solana, and there was a lot of hype around it about 2-3 weeks ago. They basically put an airdrop of bonk on cell phones. Solana released cell phones, and they had bonk airdrops and all sorts of things. So people were buying the cell phones to get the bonk tokens, and long story short, those cell phones were basically free in the end because the bonk value increased so much that they were just flipping the bonk tokens and getting these phones for free. So now it's been bleeding out. There's been the hype has died down. It's gone a little bit quiet, and we are finally moving into another area of interest. So my first hot zone was this region here. And for those of you that took this bonk trade with me, when was this? In December. I got stopped out on that pullback. We lost this level, and I didn't want to touch this now until it came back to hit a good solid area for us. So right now, what I'm watching for bonk is the 786 and horizontal that is finally starting to look a little bit interesting here for me. Something bearish to note is we have lost the 50-day MA. Okay, so that's not ideal. But as far as levels trading is concerned, we've got horizontals here. I've got a 786, and potentially time to now start building a bonk position. I've got 12-hour oversold. I've got the daily stock oversold. Let's look at the 8-hour oversold. Let's see what 4 hours got. Pretty much oversold here. Let's see. No, a little bit, maybe a little bit more down. Let's see what that is. And then the 1 hour.
Probably would consider the horizontal with that 4 hour stoke like that.
Yeah, I mean, I think that would tie nicely. Okay, and the 1 hour starting to move up. But for me, the big players, it's always the 4, 8, 12 and daily. That's what I like to see reset there. So yeah, potentially just one more dip into this region. Let's take a look at 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. Let's see if 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 is actually talking to us here with some indicator business here. Okay, this is good. This is good stuff. It looks like they've just printed their first X. So let's just get these settings correct. Okay, so here we go, guys. 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 has printed its first X. So for those of you that don't know or don't use 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, you can see what's happened here. It basically tells you when we're running out of momentum, and it kind of prints along in a short signal. So here, it printed a short signal for us once we lost this region, and now we've drifted down, and this little X you see over here is basically, well, we call it a TP zone. So when 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 gives us an X, for us, that's an indication, if you are in a position, that's a time to start taking profit. And they've printed their first X. Now, what we see a lot with 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 is we often get a second X. Okay, so potentially another second X or a second X coming into play here with a move into this nice little support regions at 0.000 101 102. That sort of area could give us that second X. So for those of you that have 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, just look out for that second X to form. Otherwise, what I can give you is solid horizontal support, 786, and 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 telling us that that short is potentially now over. And then we're obviously going to be looking for this green print. But you'll often see what happens is Lux will print another X in a region like that, and then the trade will start moving. And then only once they get about there, they'll start printing a green long. So by the time Lux prints the green long, sometimes that trade has moved a little bit and the risk is a bit higher. That's why we use it as confluence with what we do here, especially as leverage traders. So, you know, we try and tie it in with hot support zones and hot areas. And yeah, right now, looks like things could get a bit bonky in the next few days. I'd say maybe even by this weekend we could have some clarity here on a bonk move coming. Vincent says, "Who's buying the bonk dip?" I think there's a trade coming here. Okay, let's see what else we got. Audi. Anthony's asking about Audi. Let's update you guys on Matic. So Matic is a trade that I'm still in. We gave this one yesterday on Sniper Club. And look, this is essentially the move we were looking for. You know, we were looking for this little dip into the trend. And look, so far, so good. I'm under pressure, not going to lie. You know, my exit point is probably going to be under these candles and we'll start looking to exit. But, you know, my advice to all the traders, you know, barring some kind of freak accident where they give you some kind of flush out, is always wait for the candle to close before you make a rash decision. So if you do lose an area, quite often they come and they just flush a little bit and then they send the candle up again. So for me, my strategy, I generally try and wait for the candle to close before I make decisions on if I'm going to exit a trade or not. So I'll have a stop loss area and then I'll obviously watch it closely. But you can see, here's another example. You know, if you had a tight stop and they were pushing you down, look what's happened here. They've now sent it back up again. So, you know, it's just a strategy that I like to employ. But my exit area again is going to be it was close under 0.82. I think that was my exit target. So if we do get a close under the 0.82, it's going to look something like this, you know, maybe like that, and then we're going to look for that bigger move down. And I don't want to be sitting in a position when it started losing a rising trend and things like that. And you know, you can see this is a nice rising trend. If we start losing that trend, things are turning potentially a little bit bearish, and I don't really want to be hanging around in a long position on a potentially bearish looking setup. So that's my plan. Evil King says, Bitcoin update, please. Let's see, have we missed something?
A little bit of a buyback.
Okay, so yeah, look, we're still cruising. Again, nothing to panic about. We just need to identify our big areas as usual. And our big zone, you know, 43,000, call it 43,100. You can see this is the 618 horizontal support. Then, you know, if they want to come and take out a wick, you need to understand your wick. You can see this area here, 42,200. And then we've got the big guy. Okay, this is another big one here, 41,700. So these are the downside areas that we just need to keep our eyes on. Tomaroni says, bounced beautifully off a 382. Of course it did, Tomaroni. Come on. This is the house of science here. Okay, so yeah, look, guys, for those of you that don't trade with fibs, you'll see a lot of fibs from me. You know, get used to it. This is there's a lot of ways that you can do your TA. I just love the fibs. They work for me. They give me the results I want, and you know, I put them on all my charts, as you can see. 382, yeah, this was a 382 pull to that high, so that was nice. And look, it's an area to watch. And again, lower down 1.7. That is your next region. And what you can do there now, once you get your bounce, you can now crack a trend in, and you can play the bull game. You know, so once we break the trend, you can turn bullish again, and you can jump into that guy as well. And then you can nibble at your longs at these little these good support zones. You can start building positions and things like that. Okay, we've got questions for Doge from Dixon. No, he's talking about Doge 1. No, we don't want to talk about Doge 1. We want to talk about Doge. Let's do a Doge update.
It's like it's still holding.
What's that?
Doge. Somebody was asking that in the club.
Oh, okay, yeah, let's take a look. So there was a potential short setup I had ready for Doge on a pump. Let's see how we're looking at it. Okay, so there's so nothing's changed here for Doge. So what I can tell you is Doge has lost this rising trend. This is the 12 hour. This is a rising trend from October. So we know these alts have been an uptrend, pushing. We've now lost the trend. So what does that mean for me? This means if anything turns bullish here for Doge, it's going to have a hell of a fight above at the 0.088 region. You can see why. This is the 50-day MA. This is two trend lines we've got as well, and we've got major horizontal support here. This was big horizontal support for us for Doge. So right now, I'd say you're in a big fight. If Doge starts pumping here, I'd be looking, look out for 0.088. That sort of region looks like a big resistance, big rejection zone. And if you are in a Doge position or you're long, that could be a potential TP area. And you can see why. I mean, there's a lot going on there. We've got a fib there, we've got horizontal, 50-day MA, trend lines, all sorts of things saying that they want to push it down. And again, we can turn super bullish on Doge. If we do push higher here, we're going to turn super bullish on Doge once it just holds the support again at this 0.088 region. Then we know that it can potentially push higher. But until it's reclaimed that as support, I would say it's a bearish setup brewing here on Doge. And maybe a sign, maybe front running, a sign. We've often seen some of these alts, there's some leading alts sometimes like DOT and things like that. They start falling over soon and we think, no, this time is different. Don't know. Maybe it's a sign.
Maybe.
Okay. Aaron says he got stopped out on Doge. Guys, look, there's things are looking a little bit bearish here, but we just need to bear in mind that some of these guys are sitting on supports, and we can't get too bearish on solid support zones. Obviously, at some point we do lose these support zones. We know that this is, it happens. We break resistance zones, we lose support zones, but we treat them as supports and resistance until proven otherwise.
Exactly.
Okay, here's Audi.
They're really clean.
Neat, eh? These market makers know how to trade Audi.
Perfectly clean.
Look, it's looking pretty decent. I wanted to pull up the chart that I had here the other day. I actually had a preset chart for you guys. Here it is. Okay, so this is where we are. So actually nothing's really changed here for Audi from yesterday. So we are still holding the 618 just. So again, same story. You want to you can pull in your bull trend line. Here's your trend line. Track this trend. Okay, this is the 12-hour, so slightly bigger picture things. And you can identify areas where you can buy. So if you get this wick lower, you can see here we've got a horizontal. Okay, we do have this nice juicy area here. So if you got a buy in here, okay, this is your move. You're looking for that trend break. If we do wick lower, here's your next area. You can start nibbling at a little position here, and you can see this would actually make a lot of sense here. A little double bottom here on this wick. That could also work. So yeah, not looking bad at either of these areas. So 73, call it 73 where it is right now. And then lower down at 67.5. These are two areas of interest, but I would say if we lose this now, okay, and we start dropping, they want to come and take out this candle, and then I'd say we are looking, I think this is a nice long zone. 47. I mean, that's the boss area if they do give that to us down at this region here. And then it's going to be a little range play for Audi that you can look for a trade just to the top of that range. Little 40% mover potentially. So yeah, there's 3 trades here potentially right now. Third time might be lucky. If you fail the first 2 times, you can see these are key areas where you could get a nice play. And then this trend line just stays in play all the way down. And wherever you get that bounce, and then you break that trend, then you go bullish. Okay, let's see. EOS. Evil King. The guy's name's Evil King. Come on, bro.
Love the names.
Okay, let's look at EOS. Bruce, maybe do an update on Injective for us as well.
Sure.
That you gave that trade in Sniper Club there.
Yeah, cool.
I just typed in Injective. I meant to type in EOS.
Okay.
They still working on EOS?
I have no idea. It's a proper. I mean, I know we like Dino coins here, but
that is the Dino for sure.
This is like max Dino. Okay. Jeez. Okay. Let's wipe this chart here. Okay, so look, you can see straight away it's trying to dip into this 200-day MA. So I think you'll get a bounce there. I think you'll get something there. Let's look at some fibs here. Let's see what we got. Okay, there's a 786 there and horizontal, and the 200-day at 0.7. So that looks interesting. Let's see what the tie-in's like from down here. I mean, this might be even better. Not gonna lie, that's quite hot. Okay. Okay, this looks good, yeah, for EOS if you get that. 0.68. 0.68 looks nice. 200-day MA 618 horizontals on the daily. Could be a nice area. And let's see where that 0.5 is that Jackie used to like using so much. Let's see, 0.5. And there's your 0.5. Okay, so hot zones for EOS, potential bounce areas, 0.72, 0.6, 0.67, 0.68. Those are some hot zones. Okay, let's hand the stage to Bruce.
Sure.
There's your chart.
So yeah, I mean, Injective, we got into that on Wednesday early, right after the recovery. Got another red candle, rejected, defined that as solid support right there. So we got into that. It pumped up, it was going great. And then at exactly the same time, look at 4 a.m. my time, then Bitcoin decided to also give up the ghost. Was right about the same time, started to push down, exactly in sync with it. If Bitcoin holds this level, which is right there, which it is right now at 43.35, then I'm looking for Injective to also start to pick up. Let me take a look at the fib on this and see if that gives us anything there. Exactly the 618 right now. So it's come down to 618. Hopefully Bitcoin gets a little bit of to it. If that happens, then Injective will pick up. To me, if Bitcoin does that, and if it starts pushing up, that's a great place to add on to the trade, because that'll have shown that this now is the new floor, and add on to the trade. Do it again over there, boom, add on to the trade, and keep on growing it. It's looking good, assuming Bitcoin doesn't tank.
It's nice. Yeah, obviously, look, there's a lot of variables at the moment. You know, a lot of things happening out there. Pokemon Jack. Okay, he's like really wants to see Link. Don't make me beg.
Oh no, we like begging. Hey, if they're gonna sell me like cattle, you can beg.
Yeah, exactly. So here's Link. Okay, so what I can give you guys, Link traders, we just need to pay attention to big support zones right now. You know, when things turn super bullish and we start breaking trends, then we can start, you know, getting super excited. But what I can see here on Link, okay, we got a major support area. Okay, 13.8. It's the 200-week MA. It's major horizontals here. This is your first hot zone for Link. If we lose that, okay, all you need to do is identify your next solid area. Okay, here's your next solid zone, 12.9. Okay, next solid zone, 12.9, and then big zone here, 11.8. Okay, these are your main Link areas, and then you've got your trend. So there's multiple ways you can do it. You can nibble at a position here. Okay, if it starts going, you can add when you break the trend, and you can go. If it starts dropping, okay, you can either exit your position under major support, and you can try again at your next major area. You can nibble on a position here. If it breaks the trend, you can add, and it can rip. And then the same pattern all the way down. I mean, that's you know, there's always two ways that you can play these things. And you know, for us, a lot of you know, the sniper guys, we do like these horizontal supports. We like nibbling at these areas. We like buying these areas, and then obviously it gives you the freedom. When you break that trend, you're already ahead of the game because you've already grabbed your first little bit of the entry, and then it gives you the freedom to add to your trade, to take profit, do all these things. Once we get to these trends, so these are the big areas that, you know, I love to look for entries at. And again, you know, there's a lot going on out there. We're getting tied into BTC now. We're getting tied into this ETF news that just won't go away. You know, they must just get done with it now. It must happen. We must get a wipeout. We must get a pump. They must do what they need to do. So we can stop talking about this ETF. I believe Run was playing a drinking game. Every time somebody mentioned the word ETF, I think he was drinking a shot of vodka.
Oh, geez.
I didn't get to watch it, but that's what I heard. Okay, and then Rob says, has AVAX run out of stamina? So Rob, I think these altcoins are all looking so similar. So let's just pull this up as another example. Again, this dominance is pumping. You know, BTC is a little bit iffy. It is holding levels, but dominance is pushing up, and you can see there's you know, the guys are feeling a little bit of pressure, I think. Let's take a look here. Okay, so again, same story as Link. These are your levels. So track your levels on these tokens. And if this market's going to stay bullish, they generally tend to bounce at these solid areas, and then you get your trend break and all these type of things. And this is your next solid zone. So this was AVAX yesterday. We were saying we needed to reclaim the support here. And you can see they just rejected it here. It didn't get its support and drifting lower. So this is your next hot zone, 34.6. And there's a couple of hot zones here. This is the 50-day MA. Okay, so you're watching 34.6. Then you're watching 32.6. And then the big guy for me is this wick at 30.8. I think that's the big dog here. That's the wick and a 618. So 30.8.
Nice.
Okay, guys, that was a nice hour session. Hour and a half. We actually overstayed our welcome here. But thanks, guys. Always fun hanging out with you.
Fun.
Thanks for that. Guys, have a good weekend. Be safe out there. Look out for FUD and all sorts of things. Don't overtrade. Again, I can't stress this enough. Don't overtrade. Watch good areas. We know things are iffy out there at the moment, so you got to just be conservative. Just play it safe. You know our areas, and remember, next week there's a new trade. Monday there's a new trade. Tuesday there's a new trade. They never go away. Opportunities are here. And if this altcoin market's looking totally shit, we're going to be longing the S&P. We're going to be longing gold, silver. We got it all covered here for you guys. So take it easy. Dave and Bruce, have a cracking weekend.
Have a wonderful weekend, brother. And if you want to catch us, you can always catch us in the Sniper Club. Right.
Okay, guys, let's get out of here. Have a good weekend, everybody. See you later.
Yep.
Ciao.
Later.